All right, guys. So Georgia takes on Texas Southern in basketball Sunday, but this is recorded on Thursday. Real quick, before we mention the basketball game, I would like to mention Georgia wins basketball versus Houston. That will be Friday, so that game will be over at the time this has been recorded. But I do want to mention Georgia's baseball team just released their schedule. Real quick, before we get to Georgia versus Texas Southern, we will look at their schedule. A very, very interesting schedule for Georgia because they do not play Georgia Tech and Georgia Southern in full series. They only play in one game. So Georgia is going to open up the season Friday, November 14th versus UNC Wilmington at UNC Wilmington. So Georgia will be opening the season on the road. After that, Georgia will play on the road versus Kennesaw State. Georgia then gets their first home series in a 4-game series, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday versus UIC. I've never heard of those guys, but I know they're Flames. So that'll be one of the first times Georgia's played them in any sport. Wednesday, the 26th, Georgia will play Georgia State. Georgia will play Florida Gulf Coast. The weekend series, the 28th, the 1st, and the 2nd. On Tuesday, Georgia will play High Point. That's kind of funny because Georgia played High Point in basketball last year. Then they'll play Georgia State the very next day. Georgia will then play Columbia the 7th, 8th, March 7th, 8th, 9th. East Tennessee State March 11th. And then the SEC play starts. Georgia will play Kentucky at Foley Field the 14th, 15th, and 16th. They'll go to Gainesville to play Florida the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. They will play West Georgia the 25th. They will play Auburn the 28th, 29th, and 30th in Auburn. They will play Queens University of Charlotte Tuesday, April 1st. And then they'll go to Texas to face the Texas Longhorns April 4th, 5th, and 6th. Presbyterian April 8th. Arkansas April 11th, 12th, and 13th at Foley Field. And then the home game, or not home game, Georgia will then play Georgia Tech April 15th. That is a neutral site game. That will be played in Truist Park. That will be the first time they played in Truist Park since probably 2016 or 17, probably even 2018. It's been a little while since Georgia has played Georgia Tech in Truist Park. After that, Georgia hits the road to go to Music City. They'll play Nashville Thursday, Friday, Saturday series, 17th, 18th, 19th. They'll go to Clemson April 22nd. And then Oklahoma April 24th, 25th, 26th. Those games will be in Foley Field. Kennesaw State April 29th. Then we get to May. Georgia will play at Missouri May 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. At Alabama May 9th, 10th, and 11th. And then at Texas A&M May 15th, 16th, 17th. Then on May 20th, the first day of the SEC tournament starts. So that is Georgia's Georgia's baseball schedule for the 25 season. That's very, very interesting. Georgia not playing Georgia Tech but just one time. Georgia not even playing Georgia Southern. That is very, very interesting. So we get the basketball, Georgia versus Texas Southern. The two teams have met one previous time. Georgia played Texas Southern in 2018. Georgia won 92-75 on other platforms. I'll post highlights of that game. I believe I probably have that game uploaded where you can listen to it. But anyway, with that outside the point, Georgia will play better today than they will, today, because it's technically recorded, or we posted today. Georgia will play better today than they did versus Tennessee Tech Monday. First game jitters. I understand why Georgia struggled a little bit, and that's okay. It was their first game of the season. If if Dakota left you and Asa Newell and you add Silas Demery Jr. or even R.J. Godfrey, I would love to see those guys. And Asa's had one, Lefevue had one, but all at one time. It would be awesome if Georgia could get all their starters in double digits. No disrespect to Texas Southern, but in these kind of non-conference games, that's what you strive to do. You strive to, who was it? My mind just went blank. UCF upset Texas A&M. North Florida upset South Carolina. So, upsets do happen. Georgia has to do their best not to have any. But with that being said, I think Georgia's going to win this game really, really big. At the moment, there's not a spread. So there's that. I was going to try to pull up stats from the last game. Once again, Georgia is coming off an 83-78 victory over Tennessee Tech. The Dogs went 2-0. There we go. Got stats right here. Georgia's 1-0. They went 2-0 in the on that day. They went 2-0 on November 4th. The women's team won. The women's team play Houston. We might stream that game. I'm not sure. It's been a while since we've done a stream. Georgia against Tennessee Tech. Georgia had 18 points off turnovers. Georgia had 58 points in the paint. Georgia had 14 fast break points. Georgia went 34 for 66 for field goals. That's the thing that has to change. Georgia went 4 from 18 from three-point land. That has to change. We know Georgia could be a very, very wonderful three-point shooting team, i.e. the second half of the Tennessee game last year. Georgia has snipers. Georgia can shoot the three good. But 4 for 18, that has to get better for us to have success. That's why Tennessee Tech stayed in the game so long, because Tennessee Tech had... they were 11 for 28 from three-point shooting. Georgia had 16 rebounds. Georgia had 4 blocks, 10 steals, 13 turnovers. Is there a player? I was trying to find player stats. I don't... Oh, PDF. Yeah, it'll be on here. If it loads. Oh, player stats are right here. So, Asa Newell, 26 points. R.J. Godfrey, 10 points. Blue Kane with 9 points. Tyron Lawrence with 7. Silas Demery Jr. with 6. Dakota Lefevue with 18. Dylan James with 3. Samoto Croyle with 3. And then Justin Abson, 2. Croyle with 2 points as well. I was so happy to see Dakota Lefevue. 18 points. That's really, really impressive. We have not seen Deshane Montgomery yet. We will not see him until the middle of December, so probably starting the end of conference play. But starting conference play, we have not seen him yet. We will see him though, so cannot wait to see him play. Georgia shot overall 51.52%. I was trying to see how long Georgia had to leave. I don't think it had it in that game. So, pretty much the keys to victory versus Texas Southern is just to shoot the 3-point better. Like I said, Georgia could be a great team if we could shoot the 3-point better. 4 for 18, that has to improve. It will improve throughout the season. That was just perhaps first game jitters. And then defense. Transition defense, more importantly. Georgia got cooked in transition defense versus UCF. It really wasn't even the matter really that Tennessee Tech was... Tennessee Tech played good, don't get me wrong. But, they were just throwing stuff up and it was going in. At some point, you're not going to get those kind of shots anymore. So, if Georgia can prevent Texas Southern from getting those shots, we should be perfectly fine. And then the last one I want to say is... This is a game after a big football game Saturday versus Ole Miss. We need the fans and we need the students to show up. I know that you're probably going to be hungover from Georgia and Ole Miss in football. Please come to Stegman Coliseum for Georgia and Texas Southern. Every one of you matter in this kind of game. we need Stegman to be loud. We need Stegman to be raucous. I was watching Auburn last night, and I said, look at Auburn selling out their games for non-conference game on season opener. If Auburn can have that, we can too. And it's very, very important that we support this Georgia basketball team because, man, they really, really, really deserve it. Georgia, Texas Southern at 3:30. That means Scott, Chuck, and Adam will be on air at 3:05 on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network. You can listen to it anywhere on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network if you have an affiliate, or you can listen to the flagship station 95.5 WSB, Atlanta's News and Talk, SEC Plus on the TV. And I did not mention this. This is the first game of the Peach Belt Classic, so Georgia will be playing 2 games in this versus Texas Southern and North Florida, and then Georgia Tech will be the last game. I'm not sure that's the official game in the Peach Belt Classic because it's a rivalry game. But yeah, so once again, Georgia, Texas Southern, 3:30 on Sunday. I hate it's at 3:30 because I've wanted to watch the Falcons. Falcons have a big game with the Saints. I will not be able to record both games. I'll have to find a way to do that. But hopefully the Falcons are up like 45-0 at that point. Since the Saints are coming into the game with a brand new head coach. Dennis Allen got fired from New Orleans. I have no idea who their interim head coach is. This is a game Atlanta should win easy. It's Falcons. The Falcons could get a win here, man. The Falcons pretty much are gonna have a division locked up, which is amazing. It is November and the Falcons are undefeated in the division. They could already start warming up for playoffs, and we've not had playoffs football in Atlanta since 2016. The Falcons made the playoffs in 2017 versus they played the Rams and Eagles. They went to Los Angeles, then they went to Lincoln Financial, and man, it's a heartbreaking game. But anyway, Georgia, Texas Southern, 3:30. Good luck, Texas Southern. I'm sure they're a good team, but Georgia is pretty much about to. I want to see 100 points. That would be cool. That would be 100 points in a regular season game. That would be very cool. But hopefully Georgia wins. That's all that matters at the end of the day. So go Hoop Dogs and beat Texas Southern.
Dogs do the improbable, the unthinkable, the unbelievable. They beat Arkansas and go wire to win the SEC tournament.